Vaadin is one of the best web application framework. This time you can develop applications in Java very easily. You do not need to know any HTML or JavaScript knowledge for that. If you are good at design, you can use HTML, but it is not required. If you don't know design very well, you can develop your application web components for your HTML page by just creating Java components at server end. The Vaadin framework is basically built upon Google Web Toolkit, GWT Kit. So GWT Kit has a lot of libraries for UI components and a lot of code that you can easily write with GWT. So this framework is basically built upon GWT, and it's creates some more advanced features, and it is totally based on Ajax. You can create asynchronous calls. If you look at GWT site, so this is your GWT project that Google had launched. So a lot of users are using GWT for creating their web applications. A lot of material also available for GWT. So this is the basically backbone of Vaadin framework. So it uses GWT. In Vaadin you can create applications that look like desktop applications. That means the application that you develop in Vaadin are components and event driven. Like if you click on anything, then event will trigger and it will execute the code, and all those components are basically server side components. And we have UI engine on browser that is managed by Vaadin, which automatically shows your server side components on browser. So it handles all those design things. If I run a basic Vaadin application, you can see it's look like a desktop application. I have one sample application here developed in Vaadin. So it is already running. Let me open its console. So you can see this is an application that developed in Vaadin frameworks, and all those UI is being managed by UI engine of Vaadin that is running on this browser. So all these UI thing is managed by UI engine. Whenever I click on button or anything, so event is raised for that component, and that UI engine sends that request at server end, and the code that is on server will execute and return the result through Ajax calls. It also creates a WebSocket link in Vaadin because it is using GWT Git. So through WebSocket calls, we managed a lot of data binding. Vaadin applications are single page applications. That means when you start in Vaadin application, only a first HTML single HTML page will load, and further all calls that user interacts with any of the menu item or link, it will be automatically refreshed by the Ajax calls or WebSocket API calls. So your page will not refreshed each time. So it is only a single page application SPA that we developed in Vaadin. And yes, Vaadin framework also supports Polymer framework and Angular 2 data bindings. Angular 2 is also one of the framework that is being used for developing SP applications, and it provides a quite good data binding facility. And we can also use Polymer for developing components. So Vaadin framework supports both of these frameworks. If you look at these framework site, this is your Polymer framework. It has a lot of components in a form of toolbox for creating web applications. So we can integrate Vaadin with the Polymer as well as Angular 2 framework. Through Angular 2, you can create web applications. So it is also a very good framework developing apps. It is quite being used by a lot of developers. If you are not very much comfortable with the UI design in HTML, you can develop your server-side components and UI by the engine. But if you want to create your own design and you are very good at design, so you can create your design as well as in Vaadin by creating using HTML5 JavaScript code. Vaadin provides its UI component library that you can also use in your HTML pages. If you go at Vaadin's site, so you can see here it can be used by the Java web developers and creating Java server-side components for the whole